Hey everyone, so today we're going to learn a little bit about this place value chart you see in front of me on my new whiteboard that I just got. So most of us have worked with place value charts before. However, you're going to notice that this place value chart might be a little bit bigger or a little bit different from the ones that we're used to seeing. Now most of the place value charts usually end around here where the blue line is. And this blue line is actually representing this decimal point. Now we're not going to worry about these two columns first. Let's just go over what we do already know. So starting from the left side, we have the hundreds place, the tens place, and then the ones place. And most numbers that we've worked with or that we see every day usually ends right about here on this blue line. For example, if we have a number, say the number 23, if I were to place this number into this place value chart, it would end right before this blue line. We can decompose this into 20 and 3. And 20 is basically 2 tens, right? So I would put the 2 in the tens column. And we know that there's going to be 3 ones. So I'll put the 3 in the ones column. And we don't even need to worry about these two columns. Now, what about numbers that we see when we buy things at the supermarket or the grocery store? You're always going to see something like $3.99, right? And you're going to notice this decimal point here. Well, that's the same decimal point that we have over here. And it's actually to represent the numbers that are smaller, or we should say less than 1, right? Because 99 cents, we know that that's less than $1. It's 1 cent away from $1, right? So have we worked with any numbers that are less than 1 before? Well, recently we just worked on fractions. And all the fractions that we practiced so far were between 0 and 1, if you remember the number line that we drew before. So let's think of a relatively easy fraction. Let's say we have this fraction here. Now, how would I read this fraction? If you remember, the top number, which we call the numerator, we just read normally. But the denominator, we have to add a THS at the end. So this number we would read as 2 tenths. Okay, and now what do you notice? You're going to notice that the tenths from 2 tenths is the same tenths from this column here. So actually, we could input this fraction as a decimal into this place value chart. So let's just think about how many of these tenths do we have? Well, we just said there are 2 tenths. So I'm just going to put the number 2 in the tenths column. And do we have anything after in the hundredths column? I don't think so. And we know that this number is less than 1. So should we have anything in these 3 columns? I don't think so. So we can just put a 0 here. So 2 tenths in decimal form is actually just 0.2.